Got a CNN video here for you. Obviously, I won't play the whole thing. Man who took video of Ahmaud Arbery's death is a pawn in a larger game, his attorney says. So let's watch some of this video and see what they have to say. I haven't seen this, so let's watch it together and kind of see what they're talking about here.
I don't want to impugn the character of a community or of the police force other than to state curiosity at their inaction. And that's why this interview was so important. If it weren't for your client's tape, I don't know that anything would have happened here. And is that something, let me go back to Mr.
I think you're right.
Hold on. Let me go back to Mr. Bryan on that. Mr. Bryan, I hope you understand that your decision to videotape this may be what makes all the difference in the administration of justice in this case. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. If there wasn't a tape, then we wouldn't know what happened.
And how do you feel about that?
I would. I hope that it, in the end, brings justice to the family and peace of the family.
All right, so, hey, that first part of the clip definitely pretty telling. And again, it does contradict a lot of what we heard, right? We've heard witnesses indicating that these three were in cahoots somehow, that there was some relationship between the three. And I don't doubt they knew each other. They were neighbors. And I've heard individuals say, oh, maybe they were trying to box him in or this or that. And even the way I heard it a couple days ago when I was talking about it in my video was that it seemed like the three of them were going after him because that was the way it had been reported. So it's definitely interesting for him to say that he had no involvement in this whatsoever. And when I first saw the video, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, oh, it's kind of odd that he didn't seem to be in any particular hurry. He was kind of far back from the scene, and we don't hear any of his audio on the cell phone. Like if they were all three these redneck KKK members, like everybody wants to paint them out to be, these racists and all this stuff, that he'd have been on the video saying, get him, McMichaels, get him, boy, you get that boy, you show him what's up. You know, something dumb like that, some ridiculous racist rant coming out of his mouth. So for me, when I didn't hear any talk, it was just him shooting the video. I was like, is he even involved in this at all? Or like, how did he end up, and this will go to the point though, that's kind of the contradictory, right? How did he end up being lucky, which really is unlucky, to have been behind this and to have been shooting this? You see a black man just jogging down the street. Now, obviously, I don't know where the McMichaels live in relation to this guy, William Bryan, but you see a black man running down the street and a truck of white guys goes flying down the road after him. I don't know that some individual would just go ahead and jump in their car, chase after, and start shooting. That's one thing. Now, it could be potential, like coincidence, that he happened to be on the road driving behind while all of this happened. Now, that's what we'll need to sort out because, again, to be a witness to an actual crime, to get this thing on camera like he did, it's one heck of a coincidence, right? It's either a coincidence or he was part of it. That's where I'm at. Now, again, we've got to wait for the facts to come out on that. So let's check out a little bit more of this interview.
But for those tuning in just right now, what is your reservation again for your client doing what he is eminently capable of doing? Saying why he was where he was, why he videotaped as he did, and what he understands happened that day. Why do you not want him to say what can only help clear his name?
Because, Chris, in America, as I believe you're well aware, we try our cases in courts of law. And this thing, what we've come to in this country over the years, where important cases are being tried in newspapers and on television and on blogs and stuff, that is not serving the interests of justice.
But he's not on trial. He's not going to be on trial, is he?
He doesn't control anything. He is a pawn in a much larger game. And he has no say-so in that.
But he is a witness, and we have witnesses on all the time, so the American people can understand maybe that there is a miscarriage of justice, because the facts as they're being evinced from people who are on the ground, who saw and heard and experienced, give a different picture than what they're getting from authorities. They can be very helpful.
And when you feel that you are not being treated right, you should speak out. And if people won't listen to you, you need to speak out further. Okay. And that's exactly what happened in this case. This family wanted justice. And I'm not commenting on the McMichaels. That's not my place. Okay? And they've got rights and they're presumed innocent too.
So it's interesting. You hear the attorney address what we've been led to believe, right? That there were witnesses that saw these three get together and then kind of go after him together. So that'll be interesting. Again, word versus word. So it's another nuance, another piece of the puzzle. But Fredo's right to raise that point, though. He's like, well, what about this? What about these witnesses? So the attorney goes ahead and goes through here, and it looks like there's a lot of damage control going on with this attorney. And obviously, this gentleman would need the attorney, whether he's involved or not, right? If you're not involved, you definitely want to stand clear of this, because once something like this happens, and again, skin tone is all that matters, if you have any kind of involvement whatsoever, or even if you're somebody who knew the McMichaels at one point in time, you're going to be thrown in the net with them, because now it's up at the highest level in Georgia. It seems like they've moved it to a different county. Unless I'm wrong, they're having a different prosecutor, a Cobb County prosecutor, prosecute this case that's not even in Cobb County where this occurred. Unless I'm misunderstanding my Georgia geography wrong. Seems kind of odd to me. Now them trying to get the Justice Department involved. Now them, like I said, continuing to rally the activists and everything like that. Once that happens, if you're the wrong skin color, then you definitely don't want to have any part of this, so you definitely need that representation. So I definitely get why he's trying to distance himself from it, but we'll see what the witnesses say. We'll see if they can tie him to this, but like I said earlier in the clip, it's just interesting, coincidental. But let's say, again, I don't know where he lives, but let's say he lives on the same block. It seems pretty coincidental that he would have just happened to be following behind and seeing these crimes, because most crimes we don't get on camera. 99% of things, 99.99% of things we probably don't get on camera. So to witness something and to merely be a witness of something of this magnitude, it's sheer dumb luck, coincidence, or he was some way involved in it. I'm just going to sit back and wait to see what happens and see what facts come out. But I'll go ahead and put a link to the full video so you all can check that out. I try not to take things out of context. I just wanted to show those two separate parts there for everybody. So thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and stay with the developments on this if you're interested in it. Let's let the facts continue to roll out and kind of see where the fingers are pointed, see what kind of mud's getting slung by the prosecutor's office, and see how all these freaks show, like justice warriors, try to force their brand of justice, and how the McMichaels attorney is going to be able to hold up to that. It's going to be interesting because there's going to be so much heat on that side. Ooh, baby. Ooh, I wouldn't want to be their attorney right now, regardless of whether ultimately they're found to be guilty or innocent. It's definitely a hot seat to be in, that's for sure. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.